Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the OSC Elite Rising Star number 18, day number 6. I'm Cautious VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome to OSC Rising Star. This is an exclusive tournament. I say exclusive. This is a tournament designed for up-and-coming players that achieve too many accolades. If they achieved too high ranks in big premier events, they are ineligible for this event. This is for the up-and-coming talent in the StarCraft scene. Let us go. Before we get into it, a big shout out in the chat. Thank you so much, Pappy. Thank you so much to Yoko3601 for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 8 months. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it as always. And likewise, a big shout out to a new subscriber. Shout out to Rosbubble as well. Thank you. Gracias. Thank you so much for subscribing. We do appreciate the support. Hope you enjoyed the content, the casting, and the StarCraft. Hope you do enjoy. As we are nearing the tail end of the tournament, OSC again has been running for 2 months, almost 3 months at this point. It's been a pretty long event. It's been a long event here, and we've been working through it slowly throughout the course of the past couple of months ourselves, alongside Steadfast. I know Steadfast has also been covering a couple of days here and there whenever we have been unavailable, and now we have reached the tail end of the tournament. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Let us quickly head on over and catch up on said bracket. Bam, let's go. Let us go as we can very quickly catch on up. Okay, so from the top, we had a double elimination bracket. Double elimination here, and we now have our top 2 players in the upper bracket. Quickly zooming out, as you can see, we have Shameless and GG Machine. Shameless, he worked his way through Ledlix, through Art, through MindoVK, a bunch of PvPs. Shameless has made it to the upper portion of the bracket. Likewise, GG Machine also worked his way through Shino, ReBellioN, and Milky Cow. So we have a PvZ in the upper bracket finals. Meanwhile, we also have a bunch of lower bracket matches as well. We have Art versus Sebestis, ReBellioN versus Moja, Jimmy versus Mini Zerg, and a couple of other matches down here as well. So still plenty of content, still plenty of StarCraft to catch up on. Again, from my understanding, I believe we have this week of OSC and next week remaining to crown our champion. Coming into this, our favorite players were Shameless and GG Machine, and they both have made it to the finals. In my mind, players like Jimmy, players like Milky Cow could definitely threaten, and they are still in the tournament. They're here in the lower bracket, both Jimmy and Milky Cow. So wishing the best when it comes to how far they can progress, and we'll see if they can stop either GG Machine and Shameless from facing off in the grand finals. Let's go. Let us go. First things first, so we're going to be jumping into our initial match. Up first, we have a best of three between ReBellioN and Moja. We're going to be focusing on the lower bracket matches first, and then we'll be jumping into the upper bracket match of GG Machine and Shameless. We'll get there. We will get there. Here we go. As we have our first matchup, our first best of 3, it's going to be a PvT between Moja and ReBellioN. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline. Oh, the bits. Oh no, sorry. Have a little bit further back. I'll catch up, Bobby. I'll catch up. But thank you so much. Thank you. But spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the pink Protoss player. The pink Protoss, we have the South Korean Protoss representing Among Us As You Evil. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the German Terran player, the Red Terran. It is Moja. Here we go. We are jumping into our first series here. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. So that tip is to Ducklings channel or to the pets. I mean, the donation goal that we currently have is to help when it comes to bunny vet bills. So that's kind of what that's been spent on. But yeah, if you wish to support the tournament scene, you can do so via Patreon. Otherwise, donations here are for more personal matters, like said bunny vet fund. So just as a heads up. Otherwise, though, we have our best of 3. We have our best of 3 here so far. I'm curious to see how these 2 players face off against each other. The interesting thing about Moja's a very active player, but mainly in the European scene. He, in more recent years, specifically the past like 12 months, maybe 24 months at most, Moja has been much more active in online tournaments. He used to be a ladder hero. Ooh, gas steal. But he used to be a ladder hero, very much so, where he only competed on the ladder, and only recently, I want to say the last two home story cups, also two home story cups ago, did start competing in tournaments. And he's honestly a really good player, and I wish we saw a little bit more of him. Great to see him here, but because of that, I don't think he has much experience competing against a player of the caliber of ReBellioN, as I would say they're similar in skill, but ReBellioN is in a different region. Different part of the world. We'll see how they compare. Moja is a hyper aggressive player. I expect all-ins. I expect non-stop all-ins in this series. Game 1, 2, Game 3 if we get there. I expect hyper aggression out of our Terran player, and we'll see what kind of aggression we see on Tourmaline. 2-base all-in, it's almost guaranteed. Meanwhile, ReBellioN across the map, he's also very cheeky himself. He also does thrive in the mid game, so we'll see how ReBellioN will also approach this matchup and what kind of set we go into. Twilight Council, how many gateways, how much aggression. Meanwhile, a big shout to Este Psycon to that guy for the poor wee buddies. Thank you. $6.90 donation. Thank you so much for the tip, I should say. Thank you so much for the tip, Este Psycons. Gracias, baby, gracias. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the support as always. Thank you. Do appreciate it. As ReBellioN does move out, we do have still our gas on the main base. It's soon going to be cleaned up, and the initial Stalker is going to be zoned away. Despite that, though, it does get one Marine, and we'll get the other. Yeah, 2 Marine kills. Nice big ups here from ReBellioN. Cyclone does swap out, so the Stalker has to get the hell out of here. Does have to pull away. Ooh, Adept getting caught out instead. Adept is caught out. Was the Shade too late? It was. Yeah, Shade was too late. Adept does fall, and Moja has momentum. He has momentum, getting a second Cyclone behind this, rallying across. Back at home, ReBellioN, he's in trouble. Battery's halfway done. We have 1 gateway, no warp gate yet. Minimal units. There's 1 Stalker. There's 1 Stalker to defend. Lock-on is broken. It breaks the lock-on. And with that, we are holding on. The battery is now done. Battery completes. We still have more rally across the map. A 3rd Cyclone on the way. Often you would cut at 2 and then go into your add-on slot. You'd go into your starport, into medevacs, into follow-up drop play. But no, we're still committing. We're still doubling down and just rallying everything across the map. We spoke earlier that Moja is hyper aggressive. We expect a lot of all-ins. This is a little bit different though. Here we're applying a lot of pressure early on, and there's only 2 Stalkers to defend. You have the lock-ons on the Stalkers. Battery is helping as it can, but no. Yeah, Stalker takes a lot of hits, a lot of damage. Battery's out of energy. It's now out of energy. Moja throwing down 2 more maxes before the starport. This does scream 2-base all-in. We can pull the boys with this. It'll hit a little bit later. Basically, we're going for an early stim timing. Early maxes, early stim, early combat shields. Heavy bio counter early on with a delayed medevac and delayed drop play. As Moja does start to step in. Ooh. Catching out a sentry. Boys being pulled. This is going to be, I mean, this is still worth it for Moja. Okay, 1, 2, getting up to 5 probes. 5 probes go down. The energy is being spent. ReBellioN, he should hold on. And can he get on top of the Cyclones? Oh! Barely can. He barely does not. The Cyclones, they pull away in time. So far, good control here by Moja. Once again, forces to pull the boys. Moja still killing 5 workers. Does pull away and does preserve all 3 Cyclones. Does pull out. Behind this, we have tank production, additional bio. We do have a delayed starport on the way. That will be for an add-on starport for a reactor into medevacs. But for now, it's on Moja to survive the counterattack. How many gates? I believe 3? Yeah, 3 gates. So 3-gate blink into a 3rd base. ReBellioN is expanding. He does poke out. There are no tanks in position. Oh! Ooh, doesn't quite get the Cyclone. Doesn't quite catch. Rotating into the main. Tank is in position. The bio army is not. And ReBellion's tempted. Does get a Marauder. Marauder goes down. Can try to deny combat shields. Not even. Ooh. Bit miscontrol. 2 Stalkers get thrown away. Another Prism. Calm down. Prism takes a lot of hits. And again, we're building up into our 2-base push. as we build up. A big shout to Neelis in the chat. God, my God. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for subscribing to Twitch Prime. Thank you, papi. Thank you. We appreciate the support. Siempre, papi. Siempre. Thank you. No. Again, I hope you've been enjoying the content, the casting, all the StarCraft. Again, it's going to be a busy weekend, of course. We have RSL. RSL is over the weekend. 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 days of RSL to crown our champion. We'll be there. Oh. We'll be there. That's Moja. He's still getting ready for his eventual move out. Stim is now done. Combat shields +1. The upgrades have completed. We can push. ReBellioN, he will commit. Sorry, I've been saying Moja. Here come the boys. Boys are being pulled. 2 base all in. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. Back, I don't really have to defend. We have a safety immortal. Dark Shrine is on the way. I do like the Dark Shrine, especially against 2 base all ins. It's quite rare to hold on to energy for scans, so DTs can clean this up. But is it too late because the Dark Shrine isn't ready yet? Yeah, it's not ready yet. Just about to finish. We need those war pins. Moja has arrived. Does siege up those tanks. We'll say the tanks are a little bit far back, but oh, within range of the Immortal. Immortal takes the volley. Ready the Immortal in. Our first ET is revealed. We have a turret on the way. He's getting his turret. Do we have a scan? Yeah, no scan. No scan. Yeah, Zelte go for the dive. They don't quite get on top of the tanks. The DT doing a lot of damage. And it's still going to be a close trade here. It looks like the Immortal is going to go down. There's the scan. DT goes down, and Moja, he breaks through. Yeah, he does break through. At least currently the scan does run out, but now there's a turret. The turret's finishing. Yeah, the turret is ready. Dark Templar are not going to be good enough. And the scariest thing, of course, is that the tanks. The tanks, they did survive. Not a single tank went down. And the natural has been broken. ReBellioN was getting a 4. Oh, God. That's so greedy. It's getting a 4th base, building up his economy, but Moja is here to just end the game. Forces way up the ramp, into the main. Oof, Sentry gets focused down, no force field. Archons, they come in from behind. They try to at least, but there's a bunker. There's turrets, SimCity. Archon gets focused down, and Moja has done it. He has broken his opponent. GG gets called, and Moja takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG will play the Moja, who will take a lead in the series. Again, we did really expect 2 ace all-ins and hyper aggression on Tourmaline. That was expected, especially with Moja's reputation as well. ReBellioN did go technically for a safer build, but he was getting a 4th expansion. It does feel like, well, unfortunately, he wasn't able to engage ahead of time as well. Ideally, against these all-ins, especially with a Stalker-based army, you want to be able to engage, pick away at the army, slow it down as it pushes across the map. We saw that ReBellioN wasn't quite able to, partially also because of the failed aggression. Remember, he blinked into the main base, he bled out a couple of Stalkers, he was forced back home. That did give the opening for Moja to move out. GG. GG, well played. But I also want to praise Moja as well for the early game aggression. Remember, he killed 5 probes. He killed 5 workers early on. He was trading very efficiently with his Cyclones. He forced out extra batteries. He delayed the 3rd base of ReBellioN as well. Like, a lot of damage was dealt early on to kind of set up for this moment. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be loading into Winter Madness, loading into game number 2, a much larger map of the map pool. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the pink Protoss representing among SC2 people. Down in the series, we'll see if he bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. The pressure is on. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the German Terran. It is Moja. Here we go. Now, this is going to be a good opportunity here for ReBellioN to recover in this series. Moja, he's known for aggression, he's known for all-ins, and smaller maps favor that kind of style. Tourmaline, 10,000 feet, Ruby Rock, those are 3 maps that come to mind where Moja is going to be favored, but now we're loading into a larger map. much larger map in the map pool. If ReBellioN were to build up into the mid game, it would be easier to get into that mid game here to defend, to survive, and to shut all ins down because of the rush distance by ground and because of how defendable the terrain is as well. With the high ground here outside of the natural, with the choke point coming into the third base as well, your initial 3 and 4 base setup is pretty secure. The map will be helping you, more so than others. So we'll see how Moja adjusts on a map like Winter Madness. Likewise, ReBellioN, he's not the most standard player himself either. He can also start to be assertive. That's now we are building up. Single gas opener out of Moja, but we're still going for the follow-up factory. Okay, interesting. No shot we're going for like a 1-1-1 one base all in. I mean, as the scat is denied. Okay, he's expanding. So we're going for a delayed CC after the factory. Did get Marine first. Cutting certain corners, not taking gases early on, now going for a later Reaper. Interesting. We'll see if ReBellioN can keep up. Yeah, ReBellioN scouting nearby, ensuring there is no proxy factory. Making sure he's safe. And I'm curious to see where this build takes us here for ReBellioN, just because it is going to be a much later second gas, later tech. And it is going to be an earlier starport, okay. So faster 1-1-1. ReBellioN back at home once again, going to his own Twilight Council. Last game he went 3-gate blink into a third. This time we could see ReBellioN cut some corners. Sailing Reaper does back in, does response. Oh, ooh, tries to. He's going to be denied. Nice defense here from ReBellioN. Able to deflect. Moving out with hallucination, we'll be able to confirm the initial build here of his opponent. It is going to be a mine drop follow-up. Going for the mine drop. Again, you can already see here that this is a much more tame build here from Moja. Going for harassment. Getting vision across the map. We're not immediately building up into like a stim all in or anything like that like we saw previously. As ReBellioN does get a safety robo. I believe only 2 gates? Yeah, 2-gate blink. 2-gate blink into a third, so slightly greedier here from ReBellioN compared to last game. Oh, there's a third. Back at home, tank production has begun after the mine drop. Moja does hit the natural. ReBellioN somewhat in position. Blink will not be done in time, but he should react in time. It pulls away. It pulls away. Mine shot's going off, catching out one probe. Just the one. So better defense here from ReBellioN. Clean defense. Claims his third base. Prism is on the way. Now we can start to counterattack. And I'm most curious to buy the follow-up here. Again, tank production is well underway, and we're now getting into the rest of our axes. To have the early Raven. Add on top into Stim. Moja can be somewhat active here to harass. And ReBellion's just building up. Yeah, we're just building up into the mid-game. Blink is on the way. We have the Bay on the way for Colossus production. We're settling in. As I mentioned before, like I do favor ReBellioN in a longer mid-game. And so far, Moja hasn't really done much damage early on. Even last game, he had killed 5 probes by now. So ReBellioN is settling in, getting ready for a backstab. As much as ready for his counterattack. ReBellioN can reinforce and counter in these bases, but I don't really think we need to. You can argue that maybe the main base is a little bit exposed, but we have both tanks in position for the most part. Moja should be fine. Oh! Stalkers, they try to get behind the middle line. They get one SCV. Yeah, one SCV so far. Doesn't lose any Stalkers, so this is worth it here for ReBellioN. So far it is worth it. One SCV. Moja does 9 mining time. And Moja does expand, 3rd CC. So no 2-base all in here. He's claiming a 3rd base, building up into the mid game as well. And again, we're just slowing things down here in game 2, having a much more tamer build. Tamer build, tamer game. From here, Moja, once he gets his 3rd base, he can start to be active. Otherwise, we could see him turtle up. But he should start to move out as he expands. I'm sure he's also hoping for an overreaction. My army does move out. ReBellioN just picking away the Hellions. Doesn't quite get the Marauder. Moja, he will have to be careful here. He's pushing quite far across the map, but I don't see him pushing up the ramp. Yeah. Doesn't try to. Just breaks out, gets a bit of breathing room. Now he can claim his 3rd expansion. And ReBellioN is forced back. So just a little bit of posturing. Technically, I don't think ReBellioN saw the 3rd. No, he did. Okay, no mind. He saw the 3rd CC. He knows. He knows he's safe. We should be seeing a 4th. There we go. 4th is now on the way. And soon working towards either a 2nd Robo or Storm. And we have the answer, Storm. Temple Archives into Storm, into Archons. Colossi moving out. Moja doesn't really have too much dive potential, so ReBellioN can poke in, pull away. Actually committing into the tank. Oh, this is a big overextension. Yeah, ReBellioN does not need to be here. We don't have to push in. At the same time, does cause distraction. Prism into the main. Gets shut down. Takes down 1 tank here at the 3rd. But ReBellioN is playing with fire. Has to pull away. Does race back home. Again, just let out too many Zealots. Lost his Prism. Pulls back home, getting into Storm. And we'll see how aggressive Moja plans on being here. I do think there was a window where he could have just chased this army. I mean, you can see here he's up 40 supply. So there was an opportunity just because he had killed the Prism, killed all the Zealots, but Moja did not dive on said opportunity. ReBellioN does make it back. Storm is almost done. Sure, so Storms. Meanwhile, currently there is no Academy. There's no Ghost Academy. Moja, he has a massive army. We just got to avoid the Storms. Oh boy. That's going to be a lot of Storm. 5 High Templar moving in. First Storm does land. He's running back the army. We got 4 Storms left. Oh my god. Yeah, first Storm does land. So there's the second. We have 2 left. Oof. Another Storm on the tank. Tank is going to go down. And so far decent trades here from ReBellioN, but I believe he's now out of Storms. Yeah, he's out of Storms, trying to push in. Marines are left idle. Marauders being focused down. Stealths are coming to reinforce, and we're getting on top of the Bio army. They're barely getting on top, and tank goes down. But Moja holds. Moja, he does hold on. Again, a bit of a messy fight. Moja, he did reset the Colossus count, true. Caught all the Colossus, caught most of the High Templar. was still a messy fight, and the storms were brutal. The storms, back. Oh, so we go for the storm drop. Not bad. Won't get too many kills. What's that? 2, 3 SCVs going down. Moja does react in time. I say 3, sorry, it looks like up to 5 SCV kills. 5 workers. ReBellioN now taking more bases, gaining map control, securing a stronger economy. And can start to max. Now, Moja, he is at least going to be incorporating a couple of ghosts. The Viking count is still very low. Low Viking count. I'll say making too many medevacs. Hopefully we go back into Vikings from here. After this set of medevacs. So ReBellion's already moving in. He does have eyes on the main army. There is a way into the natural. Free tank. Does get it. Free tank goes down. Storm's coming in. Oh my god. Massive storms to the Marines. Yeah, Marines. No, they go back in. They go back into the storms. Marines, they just melt. And we're diving. And we're going for the dive. Tanks are on siege as well. Getting 1, getting 2 tanks. And ReBellioN has done it. He has broken the defensive line here of Moja. Gets into the mineral line as well. And GG gets called. ReBellioN fights back. Puts a point on the board. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Moja, I want to say initially there was definitely a moment where he could have caught the army and maybe snowballed out of control. Specifically, I'm referring to the moment when ReBellioN pushed. When he pushed into the third base and he hit the prism, or the prism went into the natural at the same time. He lost his prism, he lost all his zealots, and again, he fell like 30, 40 supply, and he raced back home. Meanwhile, Moja, despite winning the fight, didn't chase. He didn't have the confidence to chase down the army, to chase down the Colossus. He could have definitely gone for the dive, but alas, opted not to, and that allowed ReBellioN to recover, take more bases, max out, and almost perfect his army. Again, we saw some brutal storms, and Moja, he was unfortunately out of position to deal with that main push. He had 2 tanks on siege that had to rotate, and the first tank also was exposed as well. GG. GG, all played. With that, we're going to be loading into Title Citadel, loading into the third and final game of the series. Bearing in mind, best of 3. Best of 3. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the pink Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss. From among SCG people, it is ReBellioN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the German Terran player. We have the red Terran. It is Moja. Nope. Let us go. Welcome to Title Citadel. This is another one of these larger maps. I will say that this map is a little bit more quirky, a little bit more different, of course. One of the big factors is the gold expansion. So if we do end up in a longer, later game, the gold base can factor in. But more importantly, the bases are very spread out. So also if we get into a longer macro game, depending on who has map control, depending on who is the aggressor, they will have the added advantage of the distance by ground, right? Of these bases being so spread out. So if you're able to outposition your opponent, you can just straight up kill bases and end the game. Can end the game. I'm a little bit concerned here about Moja and what he's going to be able to accomplish here. We'll see how he does adjust coming into the ace match. Again, personally, I feel like the longer the game goes on, the better it's going to be for ReBellioN. But we'll see. As we once again see a single gas opener. Last game it was single gas into a faster factory, which was kind of weird. It was it was a bit of a quirky build, but this time there we go. Economic start, racks expand. So let's go for the economic start. ReBellioN back at home, settling in as well. So players are going to be building up. Again, we're expecting a bit of a safer build here by ReBellioN, or even a greedier one. At least 2 Gate Blink. We saw 2 Gate Blink last game. We could see it again here. Safety bunker out of Moja. Securing himself. There's our Twilight Council. We have seen ReBellioN mix up builds before and go into like Robo first and get into a heavier Colossus count. But here still playing standard, at least against Moja. Opening up Blink. There are builds where you can open up early charge. We have been seeing that a lot from Hero, for example, as of late. But that's usually if you expect your opponent to be aggressive. That's usually a little bit stronger on maps like Tourmaline, like Ruby Rock. I would say it would be ill-advised to go charge on Title Citadel. And there's Blink. Into Blink. Have our 1-on-1. Tech Lab is on the way. From here we can go into early Cyclone. We can go for a faster add-on swap into safe pass Banshee play. Oh, okay, we're going for the swap. Let's go. And this is going to be Raven. So Raven open out of Moja. At the same time, ReBellioN does go 2 Gate Blink into a third. This is the greediest build we've seen so far. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, last game we saw 2 Gate Blink but a Robo before expansion. This time there's no Robo, there's no third gateway, straight into the Nexus. So ReBellioN is being very greedy, very economic. Then going for the Robo. We'll see what Moja can get done. Moja is moving out. Yeah, it does move out to harass. Likewise, Stim is finishing up. What's on the way, I should say. And we'll see if there's any kind of big signs of aggression from Moja, whether he goes into extra Raxes. If he throws down like a 4th and 5th Rax, that's a sign of a 2-base all-in. That's kind of what we're looking for here. If he throws down, I mean, we've yet to see an eBay, which is interesting. Yeah, no eBay, no +1. We'll keep an eye on it. Likewise, ReBellioN going straight into charge, going for a gateway heavy style before any kind of splash damage. And ReBellioN is outside the bases, containing his opponent. Moja does cut tank production here at 2. He's focusing on his bio. About to break out. And eyes are on Moja. Stim soon to finish. Tries to bring away the Stalkers. Doesn't get one. I just want to see if he pulls the boys. Like, I just never mind. Third CC on location. Okay, I was curious because there was no third, right? There was no third CC. I was curious to see how hard it was going to commit. Does expand. Not all in. Ooh. As he moves out, he gets spotted. ReBellioN, he will slow down the army and gets 1 Marine. Gets 2. Takes down 2 Marines. Does force a stim. Moja has been slowed down. Back in, we have plenty of charge lots. ReBellioN should be fine. Yeah, should be fine here. Assuming he's able to collapse in. Uh-oh. Tanks are going to siege. Yeah, tanks take siege up. Diving on the first tank. Does get focused down. There's 1 tank left. Oof. ReBellioN does pull back. Yeah, pulls back, buying time. Waiting for extra warp ins. He's going for the dive once again. He commits. And he has plenty to deal with this. And catching out the Widowmine, the tanks as well. ReBellioN holds. And Moja, he was so committed here. And remember, he was not all in, he was expanding, and behind this, I don't see him holding on to the third. As Moja, he will lose the entire army. Ay, ay, ay. Losing the medevacs, losing the Ravens. Raven does not get away. Again, the army that Moja had could posture for sure, but to commit into the third, I mean, now there's nothing left to defend. There's just nothing here. Yeah, ReBellioN, he's doing it. It's snowballing out of control. Gets across the map. And ReBellioN, he should be able to break through here. He has no War Prism. He has no Prism. Dives on the medevacs. Gets one medevac. Takes down the Marauders one after the other as well. Oof. Diving on the final medevac. But there was no War Prism. No War Prism. Delayed reinforcements. Not bad. Catching another Marauder. Greedy moves here from ReBellioN. We gotta calm down. Activating our Stalkers. Throwing away more Zealots. Finally does back off, and behind this, claiming the gold. Gold base is on the way. A little bit greedy here from ReBellioN, but again, he's expanding with his army. Now going for the Bay, now going for Colossus. I will say that ReBellioN did overextend, and surprisingly, ReBellioN did not get economic damage. He picked off a couple of SCVs. You can see here, no, never mind, 0 SCVs have gone down. He did not push into the mineral line. Those potential to get damage done, he opted not to. He kept going for the main army instead. So Moja is still in this. We're still in this. Rather than getting into double red production. Working towards mass Colossus. Building up into Colossi. We're bringing more units. I mean, earlier with Moja's attack failing, I thought that was going to be game then and there. But as we mentioned, ReBellioN did not get into the mineral line. So we have a game. We have that game. We have that back and forth. Moja building up a heavy Marauder count. And ReBellioN, he has to defend this fourth. And throwing down batteries, cannons. Looking to make a stand. ReBellioN does expand on the right hand side, so he's being spread thin. Moja will scout. Does confirm. Confirms expansion. Moja's main army does respond. ReBellioN is in position. Gets spotted. He is spotted. Moja has to play it safe. Still, he has so many Marauders. 32! Oh my god. It's a very beefy army. Likewise, we do have Disruptors on the way. Not Storm this time, it's double Robo. Building up those Novas. Ooh, ReBellioN, he does commit in. Marauders, they attempt this around. Zealots, they trade well. They tank well, I should say. And the Colossi, they shell at the army. One Colossus does fall. There's 2 left. Wasting some shots. They're now focusing on the main push. Marauders ace them in. They're trying to get on top of the Colossus. Gets the Immortal. Yeah, gets the Immortal. Gets the Colossus as well. Massive pick of 1 Colossus goes down. There's 1 left. 1 Colossus remaining. Just not enough support. Not enough Zealots. Yeah, Warpins are so late, so delayed. There it goes off, does crazy army. ReBellioN does hold. But again, he did miss Warpins. You can see the bank, right? You can see the bank here, almost 1,000 minerals in the bank. ReBellioN, he was not macroing. And Moja is holding his own. has so many medevacs. Arguably too many, as he didn't go into any Viking production. Does get a disruptor. Disruptor goes down. Still does commit. Oh! Catching a free disruptor. Moja rotates over towards the gold. It still feels very committed here from Moja just because he opted not to go into any Vikings or into Liberators. He's still making more medevacs, by the way. Ay, ay, ay. Barely committing in, not quite able to. He only has 2 Colossi. And Moja, he's built a tank. He can tank it. Sims in, breaks the expansion. Nova attempts to go off, gets focused down. One Nova connects, but losing both disruptors. Yeah, ReBellioN just losing far too much here. Everything's just nobody out of control. The gold base is going to fall, and Moja can just keep on pushing. He can just keep going. Rover is exposed. And ReBellioN, he cannot keep up. Not like this. Unfortunately, he just never retained his disruptors. Ideally, you want to build them up over time, but every time he had a Nova, I mean, he would lose his disruptor. Time and time again. Yo, we got defensive DTs. Oh no, they get spotted. They get spotted. Gold base went down. New 4th base under fire as well. Season Novas. And there he goes off. Catching out the Marines. But again, we have a massive concave. Collapsing on the Colossus. And he wants them. At least gets the disruptors. And 2 more disruptors go down. And Moja is still maxed out. Still rallying. Nice kiting out the Moja. And he just keeps stemming in. And he's done it. Takes out the Stalkers as well. So Colossus as well. We're down to 1. Down to 0. A 0 Colossus, and with that, the third base has been broken. GG gets called, and Moja, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. An impressive showing here by Moja. I'll be honest, I thought Moja was dead. I'm referring specifically when Moja pushed on 3 bases. Sorry, when he pushed on 2 bases, technically. When he hit the 3rd base, and when Moja lost everything. He lost all of his tanks, lost all of his bio, he lost all of his Marauders as well. He plummeted in supply, and we did point it out how ReBellioN counterattacked. But 1, he had no War Prism, so he couldn't really reinforce across the map, so he couldn't really keep applying that pressure. But 2, he focused on chasing the main army. He did not peel off into the 3rd base. He did not get economic damage, so even though he took a really strong fight, in the end ReBellioN did overextend, and Moja's economy was equivalent, if not greater than that, of ReBellioN. So with that, Moja was able to recover, build back up, and get into Mass Marauder. I was also concerned about the lack of Vikings and the heavy commitment into medevacs. It felt like for a lot of those medevacs as well, they just weren't able to really add too much to the main fights. But in the end, he was still able to overwhelm. He could just still bank up and build up a massive Marauder army. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Moja. Moja does advance on. My condolences to ReBellioN. ReBellioN is out of the tournament, and we have our next series. It is going to be a PVZ. Oh boy, we're going to be jumping into Jimmy versus Minizerg UA.